Well, as of course, this is the big story. We've been talking about it, and of course, we will absolutely respect the privacy of the Princess of Wales. But she's been very brave. She told the world that she's undergoing chemotherapy for cancer in an emotional video message yesterday. The Princess said it was a huge shock and that the past couple of months have been incredibly tough for her family. So joining me now to talk about that impact is Dr. Pam Spurr. She's a psychologist and commentator. Dr. Pam Spurr, it's a frightening thing when someone discovers that they themselves have cancer and then to have to tell other people about it. Can you talk to me about the psychological impact that has and what you think Catherine must have been going through?
It's a tremendous impact, and we can't underestimate how people go through. It's almost like a grieving process when you get a cancer diagnosis. People first go into a state of numbness and shock. And sometimes they pass into despair and then anger, why me? And then with parents, Nana, a real issue is feeling guilty. I'm supposed to be the protector. I don't want to be ill around my children. And 2/3 of women really struggle with that kind of guilt compared to 40% of men. I think men are better at compartmentalizing those sorts of painful feelings. So I can imagine that Catherine, building up to telling the children, probably felt this enormous sense of guilt. And it's totally unrealistic to feel that way, but it's a natural feeling. And 1 in 2 of us in the UK will at some point have a cancer diagnosis. So she's right, we are not alone. But it's how you go about it if you're a parent, how you go about telling your children that is really crucial.
Yeah, because there were some very specific words she used when she said age-appropriate way, when she was talking about imparting that news to them. And, children are adorable, and especially when they're so young, they would have been trying to protect their mummy as much as they can. And she said that to let them know that she's okay. And so again, you get the feeling that the children take on almost a burden as though they may feel it's partly, or there's some fault that's attributed to them.
Well, I think you've got a good point there, Nan. A lot of children think, especially slightly older children, think, oh my goodness, I can't do anything to upset mummy or daddy, whoever's got the diagnosis, because I'll just make it worse. Now, I always give a guidance of what I call the 3 Ps. So if you've got to give this challenging information, you first plan it. So if you have a partner, with your partner, you plan and you think how your children might react. So you plan what to say. Next, you practice it. You go back and forth with each other and practice and think about the kind of questions your children might ask you and practice your answers. And the reason why I say this is the more comfortable you are with the language you're going to use with them, the more comfortable they'll be. And the 3rd P is you put it into action in a calm moment, not on a Friday evening when the kids are tired after a long week of school. You have to really think when you're going to put this plan into action. And then that's when you're going to be feeling calm as you can, because children are emotional sponges. And if you're really upset delivering this news, it will compound their confusion, their worry, their upset. And the other point, Nana, is remember this is now a dynamic process for any family, for Kate and William and other families around the country. Their feelings will ebb and flow. The children at some points won't really be thinking about it. Other points they will be thinking about it, like if mummy or daddy's reacting badly to chemo. So it does ebb and flow, and it's a dynamic process, and you have to answer their questions because they'll have more questions as this process goes on. And you just, again, have to use those 3 Ps. Plan it, practice it, and then put it into action.
And very briefly, we've got about 30 seconds left. William, the way he has managed this has been exceptional. And how do you think he must be feeling?
I think every partner feels an enormous sense of this, what can I do? And many men in particular think, what can I say? I don't want to put my big man foot in it. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And what I always tell men in that situation is just ask. Ask your partner what support they want. Just say, what do you want to tell me when you want to talk about it, and tell me when you don't want to talk about it and you want to have time out from talking about the big C. So men can really get in there if it's the woman with the cancer and really be supportive in that way by just saying, I'm not sure what to say, darling. Help me because I want to help you. I'm here for you.
Dr. Pam Spurr, thank you so much as ever. Brilliant.